This might be the scariest sewing project I have ever undertaken, but if it all works out like I planned, then it will be a great accomplishment. And it will result in a set of pajamas that I have wanted to be able to sew for myself for years. Let me show you what I'm working on. This might not look like too much right now, but this is a 2-piece set of pajamas, a button front camp style collar, but the real problem is that it is sewn with this silky, lightweight satin fabric. If you have sewn with this kind of fabric before, you know why I'm scared. But as with any sewing project, I know that I'll be able to learn a lot, and so I'm gonna try it anyway. I am going to take my time. I'm gonna use all my tools and make sure that I cut everything out as true to the pattern as I can. I'm gonna follow that tutorial, and I will probably be researching how to sew with silky fabric a little bit as I go as well. I'll take you along for the ride here if you want, and I will go through my process from step to step. I'm gonna be using the new band camp shirt pattern that just released. It is such a cute set-in sleeve pattern. It's a button front with that camp style collar, and there is a ladies version as well as men's version, and I can't wait to sew up one of those classic PJ sets that everybody wears. I love wearing those to bed, but I always get mine from Target and they just fall apart, and so I'm gonna make my own. At this stage, my rotary cutter is going to be the most important tool, and I'm going to make sure that I have replaced it with a new blade so that all of my cuts are made precisely. There is nothing worse than trying to cut satin with a dull blade. One of the most important things that you need to remember when it comes to sewing silky fabric is that interfacing is everything. So the collar is to be interfaced, as well as the grown-on portion of that front placket. But I'm also going to be interfacing my cuffs and the tab and probably even part of my pocket, just to make sure that everything stays nice and the original size, because fabric that's silky like this has a tendency to grow as you sew it. So the interfacing that I'm using is it's called Pro Sheer Elegance, and it's fusible interfacing, and I believe it's from Fashion Fabric Sewing Supply. I'll put the information in the description box below. Interfacing can't solve every problem that we might have when it comes to sewing with slippery, tricky fabric, but it can certainly do a lot to help mitigate any problems that you might come up against. You guys, this is so hard to cut. It keeps on shifting, and if you cut 2 layers, then the second layer is always completely off. So I am cutting in 1 layer, and I am also, for the parts that I want interfaced, I am ironing the interfacing onto a scrap of fabric and then cutting out my pattern piece, because it is shifting all over the place, and maybe if I put interfacing on these things, it'll stay in one place for a little bit. Okay, that really helped a lot. So I interfaced it on, and then I cut it out. So that made a humongous difference. So here's my interfaced piece. Ooh, nice, pretty. And here's my uninterfaced piece. It's like a hot mess. It's so shifty and bleh. Throw that away. One of the hardest parts about sewing with silky fabric like this is figuring out, do I use pins? Do I use clips? What am I gonna do to attach things and get them in place before you sew them? And one of the things I like to use is this Sew Line glue stick pen to put things in place so the fabric isn't damaged before I get to sew. Status update. It is now nighttime and I am still here, but I have done so much on my make and I am loving it. Here it is. This silky fabric is so hard to sew, but it is so rewarding. And actually this fabric takes a press really, really nicely. So I have my collar put on, I have my pocket put on, I have the sleeve cuff with this cute little tab all put on. Side seams are sewn, and now all I need to do is finish the bottom hem here, and then I need to install the buttons. Finally, I did it. So cute. I have a shirt on underneath here, but this is my pajama top and it is perfection. I cannot believe that I did this super hard sew with this really difficult to sew fabric, and it has turned out exactly the way I wanted it to. So now all I'm gonna do is tomorrow sew up those Allegro bottoms to make a cute little like elastic pair of shorts with this, and my PJs are almost done. What I love about this shirt is that I could wear it as a PJ set, but I also can wear it with like a set of jeans. I've got my Crescendo pull-on jeans here, and I am just so completely comfortable. It's a great going out kind of top option with this silky fabric, but again, my intention was to make pajamas, and so that's what we've got here. My PJ set is done. I'm so happy with this make. Sewing with that silky fabric was difficult, but worth it. I definitely learned some things. It took a lot more time than I was planning on, but it was completely worth it to get this set made. So take a look at the Bandcamp sewing pattern. It is ready for all sorts of woven fabric that you might have: rayon challis, linen, chambray, the list goes on, and this pattern is ready for you.